If you're a home care agency owner and you've been struggling with having a predictable and reliable method to obtain more clients and scale your agency to the millions and beyond, then you're going to want to stick around. I'm going to walk you through essentially what I call our $5 million plus growth care referral strategy in your home care agency. Okay, how it works and how you can apply it to your business today. But first, I want to address exactly who this training is meant for. All right. It's for those home care agencies who see the vast potential for growth, but keep finding themselves plateauing, right? Whether that's hitting a certain threshold for revenue or hitting a certain threshold for the number of clients, despite trying their best to get beyond that. It's also for those agencies that have found success on word of mouth and strong community ties, but are completely invisible online. This part of your business is crucial in today's age where everything is going digital, right? Where an online presence can significantly amplify your referral efforts, the recognition of your brand, and also potentially networking. Now, it's also for those who recognize the importance of being online but are completely overwhelmed on where to start or maybe have been burnt in the past that yielded little to no return on their investment. They need a clear step-by-step guide to crafting an online strategy that complements exactly what they're doing and the strengths in their business. Okay. Now, who am I and why does this matter? Okay. My name is Elias Benedict and I'm the founder of AdFelt, where our focus is to help home care agency scale with the right systems and people in place. Our mission is to help home care agencies maximize their referral potential by using our growth care referral strategy to scale past $5 million plus. I started AdFelt about a year ago, and I've also taken the time in this training to go ahead and build out the infrastructure I'm about to show you that has the potential to change your life and your business. Now, there's a couple things I'll have to address to have this all make sense. Okay? Our focus here at AdFelt is scaling, right? And this is exactly the first thing I want to touch on. In order to scale a home care agency from a client acquisition standpoint, there's two principles that need to be followed. Okay? One is the constant addition of new clients. Second is retention of those clients. Okay, keeping those clients in, right? And this is exactly why I have, this picture, this diagram to kind of show you this picture. You bring in new people, you keep those people, right, and add new people. Same thing, right? The process repeats itself. Now, the tool that you're going to go ahead and be doing that when it comes to, adding new clients into your business is marketing. Marketing is the lifeblood of new revenue when it comes to home care. And then lastly, retention of those clients is going to be in the quality care that you provide. Continuously keeping there because, of course, the care you provide is better than the competition. Our focus for this training will be on adding new clients to your business. Okay? Now, how do we go about doing that? The first principle I want to go ahead and get to is awareness. Okay? Awareness is simply the process of making known, right? The more known you are, the more opportunities you have to convert strangers into clients. Okay, and so this is probably the main thesis of this whole training. And if you don't take away anything else, make sure you take away this, right? The future of home care isn't in just the services that are provided. Anybody and their mother can provide home care, right? But it's in the visibility and accessibility of those services. Okay, and what do I mean by that? It's going to be when home care is driven by people that need something, right? It's not some kind of thing that people want. It's something that people need. It's not a luxury. And so whoever can make it, whichever business can make it the easiest, right, and more accessible to reach out for their need, that's the home care agency that's going to win in the long term. Okay? And so what does this mean? To truly scale and become indispensable in your community, your agency must be the first thing people in your community think of when they think of home care. Okay, so you don't want to be people's second option, third option, fourth option. No, you want them to be your first option. All right, and this is exactly, the guiding principle behind this training. And so I kind of want to go ahead and show you the differences, like how that looks more specifically, and then some of the differences about that. Okay, so if you notice here on this diagram here, right, this is where many home care agencies start out and where they tend to stay. So you have that awareness that's built. From that awareness of potential clients, right, then there becomes an interest. From that interest, people take action and become clients. Okay. And this is what that kind of represents. Now, there's different tools to go ahead and building that awareness, right? When home care agencies start out, you have your in-person marketing. They probably have a website. Some of them don't, but that's kind of the case right now. And then also based on word of mouth. These three things are kind of the main things that drive, I would say about 80% of home care businesses today, right? When it comes to building awareness of their brand, their business. This model of building awareness for your home care agency was the essential recipe on how to grow it almost a decade ago. And back then, you could have easily scaled this to around $1 million a year plus. But times have changed, okay? As new agencies begin popping up every single day, the industry is more competitive than ever before. So that begs the question, how do you stand out, right? Now, I want to get into specifically, all right, 2 different types of levers you can pull in your business to go ahead and build that awareness and ultimately bring in more clients, okay? So we have this, if you want to say, formula here, right? For whatever input that you put in, you're going to get a certain output, okay? Our desired output in this training is going to be clients, right? Getting new clients. So that begs the question, what are the inputs or levers, right, needed to get your desired output? This is where I want to introduce you to an idea I've coined explaining every home care agency's possible referral strategy. So this is your referral strategy essentially in this analogy is one coin. On one side, you have your in-person marketing, right? This is the foundation for building out your agency's awareness, okay? This is great for engaging face-to-face with the community. It's essential for any types of referral partnerships to occur. However, there's a main issue. It's not leveraged. And I'm going to get into exactly what I mean by that in just a second. To the other side of that coin, you have your digital marketing, okay? This grows the awareness of your agency, of course, just like the in-person marketing, making you more visible. This is the best method out of the both for reaching a huge amount of people with minimal effort. It's great for educating potential clients and helping them make decisions about your services. And the main benefit of this, it's leveraged. Okay, and then this is exactly where I want to go ahead and pull up a diagram to kind of show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so again, this is when it comes to client acquisition, this is where most home care agencies stay at, right? They're doing their in-person marketing, they have their networking events, their referral partnerships, or community events that they go out and do this from. When you go ahead and scale this up and make your brand start becoming more aware, more known, this is how that's going to start looking like, okay? You have your in-person marketing. You also have your digital marketing, right? Where you're running maybe paid ads. You're posting content on your socials like Facebook. You're also reaching out to people that are engaging with that content, right? And then also you have online reviews, right? More exposure, more reputation built. It's going to, obviously explode the amount of awareness that is being seen in your brand. Now, to get back to this guiding principle of leverage, right? I want you to understand exactly what I mean by that. So let's measure when it comes to going back to this equation right here, the inputs and outputs. Let's measure our input as work, right? Based on the amount of time spent. So we're going to have 2 different scenarios here, right? With both 4 hours given. We have a lunch and learn, which would be your in-person marketing, okay? From this lunch and learn, you probably have 20 to 30 people show up, okay? This would be anywhere, ideally 20 people. And then from there, 10 to 20% of them naturally convert into clients, right? And so that'll be 1 to 2 clients. Now, for those same 4 hours, okay, 2 of the hours will probably be spent, researching, actually putting up the ad, launching the ad, and then the other 2 hours will go to maintenance, monitoring, and maybe changing some things and doing some tweaks. So out of 4 hours in total to launch a digital ad, you can reach around 5,000 people in your local area from that one ad. From that one ad, you can have, 36 people interested. That's obviously less than 10% from those conversions. And then now, if we're assuming the same conversion rate, which is, pretty normal to think, 10 to 20% of these would convert. You're getting anywhere between 3 to 7 clients, right? And the beautiful thing about this is that, this lunch and learn, you're going to have to do let's say you do it every week or every 2 weeks. This is something that you're going to have to spend constant time on doing. Now, with the digital ad, right, you kind of create it once and you just continuously refine it and optimize it without having to put in any extra work and still reaching these people on a monthly basis. So you can be getting these clients monthly, right? Now, when it comes to in person marketing, there's some drawbacks to it, of course. It takes a while to go ahead and see results, especially, let's say, for example, if you're doing like networking or trying to get referral partnerships. It can take anywhere between 6 to 9 months to go ahead and actually secure a hospital, right? And maybe other referral partners. There's only an 8 hour window to go ahead and actually do this, right? So, let's say like a lunch and learn, you're gonna host it between somewhere like 9 to 5, ideally in the afternoon, right? Because nobody wants to go ahead and go to a lunch and learn at like 9 p.m. or 2 a.m. And then lastly, it requires you or somebody to go ahead and be on the field, right? So it's taking somebody's time. Now, when it comes to digital marketing, though, it's much easier to go ahead and see like these results. Okay, you can start seeing this within the first month, even sooner than that. It has a 24-hour window, meaning anybody can go ahead and see your ad at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m. when they wake up, right? Like, it doesn't matter. There's just a 24-hour window. And then lastly, it doesn't require you at all. Okay, your online content is the thing that's talking and selling for you, right? That's kind of the beautiful thing about it, is that that's exactly what makes it leveraged. Now, how can you leverage this new insight to get it working for your business? And most importantly, add to your already existing referral strategy. This is where I want to introduce you to a concept that we're going to go ahead and be utilizing in your business. Okay, and this is building something called an ecosystem. All right, so an ecosystem, essentially what it is, it's the environment you build around potential clients, your prospects, to become more educated about your services and to eventually convert them into clients, right? And so for you to kind of wrap your head around this more, I want to go ahead and show you an example of an ecosystem you're either currently familiar with or in right now, okay? And this would be Apple's ecosystem, okay? This right here specifically, if you think about it, right, people start out by buying an iPhone, okay, and from there maybe they buy an Apple Watch, a MacBook, AirPods, an iPad, and next thing you know, right, like they already have a tablet that's made by Apple, a watch that's made by Apple and only works with Apple devices, AirPods that work the best with Apple devices, right? And you start maybe getting Apple Music and you start using all these different services, Apple Pay, all that stuff. Your life becomes super convenient because these devices work super well together, but they don't work super well at all with any other devices. So if you wanted to go ahead and switch over to, let's say, a competitor like Samsung or Google, you're going to have to not just sell your phone, but your watch, your headphones, your tablet, and it becomes a really big drawback to get yourself out of it. Now, this same concept, right, of hooking people and then retaining them in their ecosystem, this is exactly why Apple is worth $3 trillion today, because of this same concept. Everything here shown is either a product or a service, okay? And the main purpose of this ecosystem, of Apple's ecosystem, is to keep and retain clients. Our focus in this training, though, is to acquire clients, right? So it's not necessarily to retain clients. How can we apply this same concept specifically for getting new clients, right? Now, remember this outdated ecosystem of client acquisition, okay, where you only have these three elements as driving the awareness of your business? Imagine instead if you had something like this, right? This type of ecosystem that builds and scales home care agencies to $5 million plus a year, right? You don't just have, your in-person marketing, your website, your word of mouth. You have online reviews that's building more awareness. You have content on your social platforms that's building more awareness. You reach out to people via that content, right? You have paid ads that's driving more awareness to your business. And then you also have some type of email marketing or newsletter. And ultimately, again, builds awareness and builds the amount of people that are likely to become more clients, right? If we're just assuming, right, if it's a numbers game, that from everybody that we bring in, we're converting, let's say 30%, right? From every given source, right? The average is 30%. You want to be exposing yourself more to bring in more clients, right? It's that simple. And then, so the beautiful thing about this, okay, if I go ahead and share this with you, is that they work as an ecosystem, right? They work together. And so exactly what I mean by that is people, let's say they get referred, they look you up on from talking to you in person, right? They go to your website, right? From your website there, they do some scrolling and they're like, you know what, let me see some reviews on this person. They go ahead and see some reviews, right? From maybe they go back to your website and they're also checking out your content on your social platforms. They see you're super active, you're engaged with the community, you're hosting community events, right? And then what happens is maybe they go ahead and like a post or maybe they comment. And what do? You reach out to them there, right? Maybe they see an ad online, right? So somebody else, they go ahead and see an ad online. They go ahead and submit a form. From that form, you go ahead and put them on an email marketing newsletter. From your email marketing or newsletter, right? They go ahead and check out your online reviews, right? Because it's linked in your email. From there, everything goes back together, right? In your word of mouth, same thing. They can go ahead and go to your website and the whole cycle repeats itself, right? That's the beautiful thing about this. This is what building an ecosystem looks like. All these things interacting with one another, making it so that the awareness, it just grows, and grows, right? Now, how does this all kind of align and make sense, right? Now that you understand how a powerful concept like the ecosystem can be used in your business, how does that translate to real numbers? Okay, this is where I want to bring up your max referral potential. Okay, this is a theoretical number of what is the maximum number of people you can get referred to become potential clients, right? And so, in general, for most home care and home health agencies, it's going to be a concept called NERDs, right? So that's people in need, maybe that that have fallen and broken a hip or suffered a stroke, right? People with a great need. These will be elderly or seniors. Now, I understand that there's different home care agencies that maybe also service pregnant women and so forth, but in general, it's going to be elderly. It's going to be people that have resources, right, that can actually afford the services. So whether that is through insurance, right, Medicaid, Medicare, or private pay, or VA, whatever it is, they have some type of resources, right? And then lastly is going to be disabled and or dementia, right? So again, people that suffer from a stroke, people that are at different stages of dementia, Alzheimer's, right? Now that we know, these are going to be our potential clients, okay? I want to go ahead and show you an example of how we'll calculate this. And as we go about calculating this, I recommend you go ahead and plug in your own numbers to see what your max referral potential is for your territory, okay? And so we'll go ahead and use an example, a territory population size of around 400,000 people, okay? Now, out of these numbers right here, okay, are going to be based off the census and Medicare stats. Okay, so this would be off the census. All right, so out of 400,000 people, the national average is around 16.8%. Now, this may vary if you're in somewhere like Central Florida, right, or maybe another state, like California, like Central California. Obviously, this number will probably be something like 25%, right? It'll be a lot different. Maybe it might even be less than 16%, depending on your area. So, but good rule of thumb number would be 15%, right? And we're just gonna use 15% in this case, just for easy numbers. So the national average, we'll go ahead and say it's 15%. We'll round down. That's 60,000 seniors. Okay, out of those 60,000 seniors, okay, 1 in 3 of them will go ahead and be hospitalized on Medicare. Okay, we'll go ahead and be hospitalized. All right, so that's 20,000 hospitalizations. This is, by the way, this is an annual number. Okay, from those 20,000 hospitalizations, okay, if I go ahead and pull up the article from Forbes, it says right here, right, 1 in 5 Medicare beneficiaries is rehospitalized within 30 days of discharge. 1 in 5, that's 20%. Okay, so out of 20%, right, of 20,000, 1 in 5, that's 4,000 nerds that we can go ahead and reach out to on an annual basis. This is how many people you can potentially get referred from, right? Now, this number might be higher if, you're reaching out to pregnant women, right? If you're working with different people other than just the elderly. But this is a great number to understand exactly the number you want to be hitting in order to go ahead and, eventually, scale your business past $5 million, right? And so what that looks like is something like this, right? What that looks like is like this, okay? So you have your max referral potential, right, that we spoke about, okay? your current home care business is doing, let's say, you can scale this up, your current home care business, on just word of mouth if your services are killer, right? You have great customer service, to somewhere around $100,000 a year, even $200,000, $500,000 a year, right? But there's a gap still, right? If you want to go ahead and make it huge in this home care business. Now, from there, right, you step it up a notch. You're like, you know what? I'm going to start engaging more with the community. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to market myself in person. All right, great. Now, when you start doing this, you can realistically scale this up to around, $2 million a year, maybe even less, right? Mainly just because it's starting getting so competitive that there's still some kind of gap to reaching your max referral potential, right? To hitting that 5 million plus mark. This is where, that digital aspect of it, building more awareness, utilizing this tool of digital marketing to go ahead and eventually hit your max referral potential, right? Once you get word of mouth dialed down, you're providing great quality services, you have in-person marketing, right? You're having that dialed down, then the next step would be, going digital, going online, building awareness, right? And again, going back to what I said earlier about this, right? The future of home care isn't in just the services provided. Again, anybody can provide home care. It's in the visibility and accessibility of those services. And what does that better than this, right? And one last statistics I want to show you on why this is relevant, right? Because you might be like, Elias, a lot of seniors aren't on their phones or all that stuff. Well, we have a recent statistic, right, that shows that adults in the United States who use the internet, right, and this was a study done less than a year ago, right, back in September 2023, by age group. Look at this, 65 years and older, 88% of adults that got on this, right, on this statistic right here, told right here that 88% of them, like that's what, almost 9 out of 10 seniors are online, right? And if you can reach them in different avenues, whether that's maybe not Facebook, but whether maybe that's Google, right, or any other type of platform, reaching out to them, you're gonna have to be there, and this number is only gonna grow, okay? And so that's exactly the training that I wanted to go ahead and make you aware of, make it known that, in today's day and age, as things become more competitive, you're gonna have to start making your brand as well known as possible. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, now of course is the implementation steps, right? How you go about implementing this. And this is something super key that I need you to go ahead and understand. Okay, the definition of intelligence is the same as the formula for growth. Okay, and what do I mean by that? So, growth is the rate at which you're learning, right? Consuming quality information, plus the rate at which you're changing your behavior, right? And so this is what that looks like, right? Your rate of learning, okay? You might have now the knowledge, right, from this training to go ahead and scale to $5 million a year plus, okay, in your home care business. But if the rate at which you're changing your behavior, or you're not doing behavior that's of a business owner that is doing $5 million a year, you're not going to be growing at that same rate, right? That's not growth right there. Okay, so we want this to be as linear as possible. Now, someone who is smart is somebody who acquires those knowledge and skills faster, like the one you got from this training, and changes the behavior just at the same rate, okay? So now that we covered everything in this training, this is where you're currently at right now, right? Now you have this knowledge piece, right? But it's the execution and implementation of this model, right, that'll take you from where you're at, okay, to where you need to be. Okay, and as a bonus, right, I'll be going ahead, my company will be doing an implementation and walkthrough call that'll cover these two aspects of it, right? So maybe any gaps of any of the knowledge that you might have gotten, maybe you might have any questions, right, of the sorts, and maybe how you might want to specifically ask questions on how you could go about implementing into your business, or how we can go ahead and help you implement this into your business, okay? And so I'll be personally doing that implementation and walkthrough call after this training goes live. It'll be a 30 to 60 minute walkthrough on exactly, again, how you can implement this same concept into your business. So if you want to go ahead and speak with me, you can go ahead and click on the link below to go ahead and book in a call with me, okay? I hope you found this training useful. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, maybe share it with another home care agency owner, okay? And I look forward to go ahead and speaking to you.